Hello everyone, welcome to By the Numbers. I'm FM Tahiti, we're here with Belfast Celtic as always. Going to catch up on where we are. This is just kind of like I was going to say mid-season, but actually we see 28 games played. We're all kind of mid to end. We're in the last kind of stretch, really. But I hit just a really good fun run of games and I couldn't stop myself from playing, and I didn't have the opportunity to record, so I carried on. And in a similar fashion, I'm just recording when I've got the opportunity to record, so no camera for this today, because everywhere's a bit of a mess. I'm doing this at kind of a brief lunch break that's actually free of background noise. And I'm just going to play the one match against Crusaders today, but let's see where we are. So as you can see down here, we're in 4th place, 28 games played, we're on 43 points. You've got 2 teams behind us on 40 that have a game in hand on us. So Cliftonville and Ballymena are 3 points behind us and they've got the game in hand. And Cliftonville have got a better goal difference than us. So we could drop, in theory we could drop all the way down to 6th when they play their game in hand, as long as everything else goes their way. And then above us we've got Glenavon on 47, so they're just out touching distance. Again, they've got a game in hand. So they're 4 points plus a game in hand, so that could be a 7-point gap when all is said and done. And then Linfield are on 51, and way out in front is Larne on 78. Yeah. So I think this is only the second. It's taking me a while to remember. I think this is only the second video of the actual series. We played, I think, the opener, or not the opener, because I missed the opener. Didn't I? Let's go. So I played Portadown off camera, and then we came back for Institutes. I think on camera we were lost, and then you can see we hit this kind of bad run. So we lost against Larne 7-0. We've lost against them 7-0 or 7-3 in the past. Then we lost against Glentoran 2-1, drew against Institute, and then lost on penalties 1-1. And I think Glentoran, they're a team we can technically beat. I think they're more than beatable, and Institute are also more than beatable. But I think this 7-0 loss really trashed our morale. We just weren't. After that kind of, we're at home, we get beaten 7-0, even if it is by Larne, who've got this stupid wage budget in comparison. They just really damaged our morale, and we played the same formation against them we always do. We just kind of given up. I say we've given up. I'd mentally made that choice to not make any real changes, see if we could play against them, and we can't. 7-0 shows us that we can't really do that. But we started getting back into it. So we beat 1.42, which was a bit dicey. They're kind of recently promoted side. Then we got a win in the Antrim Shield. And we lost an extra time against Glentoran. Lost against Cliftonville, so we didn't have a great start to the season, really. Only a couple of wins there. Then we beat Crusaders. Then we lost. And then we lost 2-1 to Linfield, who was a bit closer than we have done in the past. And then things start to pick up a little bit. So we played Glenavon and drew. We played Ballymena and snuck a win right at the end. Brian McIntyre cut inside. It was a nice little goal. He went on a run and then did this kind of inverted wing back cut inside and then just leathered it in. And then we lost 3-0 against Larne. So this is a 10-goal deficit caused by Larne there. But then I did a lot of work on kind of morale after this. I did a bit of a team meeting. I went around praising people's training things. Got the morale back up a bit after that. And then we beat Institute 1-0. Then we beat Portadown. We got draw, and you can see we went in the upturn. Morale improved. Beat Warren Point 4-1. Drew against Cliftonville. Eddie Gregg hadn't been. Didn't really have his shooting boots on for quite a while. Started to get them again. Then we beat Crusaders 3-1. We lost against Linfield 4-1. Weren't really in that. So, consolation goal if ever there was. Squeezed a win out against Coleraine. But to be honest, they got one right at the end. 90 plus 4 plus an own goal. We were better than them. Glenavon we drew 2-2 against, which is a pretty good result because they've been sort of consistently 3rd this season. Beat Ballymena. And then we had Larne, and I decided I didn't want to just do the same thing I always did against Larne. I didn't want to get a 7-0 pounding, and if we were going to be beaten 7-0 anyway, or 3-0 even, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference, then I at least wanted to try something. So I went back to a 4-4-2. So I went back to our hoof harder, hoof longer formation for this one. And it worked in the sense that we frustrated them. They dominated us still, but the quality of chances was low. There was a lot more long-range shots, and they only just managed to get a goal against us in the 87th minute. So actually I was pretty pleased with that, and I kind of felt vindicated in doing something different for them. Like, I like to play my own tactic and make other teams deal with us, but Lana's so good, and I guess Linfield are to an extent as well, that I had to do something, and it worked. I couldn't stick to my kind of idealism for this one. I had to go back to the hoofball to get to reduce the impact. And I guess a 1-0 loss is a kind of spirited loss against Larne, and had less of an impact on morale. And I checked afterwards, and morale was pretty good, even though we'd lost, because we'd only lost by 1 goal. We hadn't been, completely humiliated on our home turf again. It's a 6-goal reduction at home, if you think about it. Then we beat Portadown, drew against Shoots, did alright in the Irish Cup 5th round. Beat Warren Points, Cliftonville and Glentoran. We've just had draws against. To be honest, they're both pretty unfortunate draws. Could have and should have won both of those. And now we've got a match against Crusaders. And I'll do these other ones off camera, and we'll come back basically for the end of season. But where that puts us is in this kind of nice position of, we're not going to get relegated. We've pretty much guaranteed we're not going to get relegated. If we keep some of the points ticking over, we should definitely be in the top half when the league splits. And if we're in the top half, we've got I say it's a reasonable chance. I think we're guaranteed, basically guaranteed a European playoff spot then. So you can start planning for that. But one of the things we might want to see if we can do is see if we can squeak into 3rd place. 3rd place is the kind of the cheeky target, I guess, in that sense. Because if we can beat Glenavon to 3rd place, we will be in the Euro Cup. I mean, the Euro Cup 2 or the Euro Cup 2nd, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. But we'll be in Europe, and we'll potentially get some money from that. That's a huge turnaround from where we are. Not a bad way to end the 10th season in the save if we can get Belfast Celtic, the minnows, all the way into Europe. A few things to bear in mind. So things that have happened whilst we've been doing this. So one of the things that happened is Ryan Barr fractured his arm. He's been out for a good stretch. He was doing well. He was starting to get into his stride. He's not prolific, but he was pretty integral in that Mazzala role. He was doing a good job for us. He's injured, so I had to kind of rotate Tohill, Cockcroft in that position. Neither of them are anywhere near as good. What else? There was something else going on. Yes, that is it. So, all the way down here, Jude McKee. So Jude McKee, just added between Jude Key. He's really good. He's playing really well. He does not want to sign an extension to his contract with us because he doesn't think. Let's find out, what doesn't he think? We're not strong enough to play at a level matching his own ambitions. So I don't know what it is he wants to do, because if you look at the league table, there are only 3 teams better than us. I can understand him wanting to play for Larne or Linfield, to be honest, if he wanted to do that. But they're all still playing in the same league as us. Silverware-wise, he could definitely get extra silverware, but I don't know, maybe he wants to go to a different league, something like that. But I'm hoping if we do well at the end of the season, he'll relent, because he's been really good as a central defender. We've got other people coming in, or we've got people who can cover it, who are good or could have potential, but he's been doing all right. In terms of the team as well, we've had a few players be kind of not tapped up, but observed for international call-ups. So Jude Key being one of them. Was Aidan Murray? Yep, Aidan Murray was another one. And Ryan Barr were all players who the Northern Ireland manager came along to watch in terms of, call-ups. They've not been given one, but they've been watched for it. What else has gone on? We have also, though I promise you we will be playing a match, our reserves won the Steel and Sons Cup, which is nice. 2-0. Doesn't count as a trophy for me, but it does for the club, which is good. So that Steel and Sons Cup doesn't let teams in the Premiership play in it, so you have to send youth sides. That's why you've got Larne Olympic are the youth side for that. I think we've had a youth intake yet, but the youth intake's meant to be terrible, which is fine. We'll deal with that. And transfer-wise, we've already kind of dipped in, and Larne tried to make a bid for Jude, and we just rejected it to see if we can keep hold of him. It wasn't huge. You can see there, 13 grand. No, they've got more money than that. 13 grand's not going to get rid of our debt. They paid off our debt, then okay. But we managed to make another signing. So I went for this, even though we've got O'Connor and we've got McGee, Greg, Brown, Bingham. There's no guarantee McGee and O'Connor will stick around next season. We've got them on loan. We've had them on loan last season as well. They could decide they're going to go back to their parent club, Larne. If they played well enough, they might get games there. So we went in to get Gareth Beggs, and he looks pretty decent. So he scored 12 in the Championship. Good physicals, good finishing, good heading, good technique, dribbling, first touch, that kind of thing. He's got some good technicals there for a striker. He's composed, he makes reasonable decisions, he's good off the ball, got a bit of flair. Anticipation could be a little bit better, but he looks good. And if you look at his record as well, he has scored in the Premiership. He got 10 last season, even though Dungannon got relegated, 14 in the Championship, 9 in the Premiership, and then a few goals when he was a bit younger as well. But he seems like he'll be a good one to throw in the mix as well. And if we do keep McGee and O'Connor, then I imagine Bingham will have to make way for him. Bingham's not anywhere near as good as he when you look at him, or as prolific by any kind of measure there. But yeah, that's mainly what's been going on. So I'm just going to pause and then just going to get a drink, and then we'll get into the match. Okay, let's get into it. Let's see how we do against Crusaders. So Crusaders are down in 7th. They should be beatable, I'm hoping. It would be nice if we finish off the month quite nicely. We'll go back and look at the month we've had, if that does happen. I mean, we'll look at it anyway, so you can see what you already have, but we'll go back and do it. Murray and Greg are injured. Murray's been really good, actually. Doesn't always work well with some of the other players we've got, but generally speaking, he's been quite good. So we'll bring Byrne on instead of Murray. Greg playing on the right. We'll bring on Quigg. And bring Dallas on the bench. So Dallas is one of the there we go. Dallas is one of our kind of younger players who looks like he's got some potential. Like if I've been trying to kind of blood him, so if Key goes, maybe Dallas or McGinn will kind of step up instead. And that's about it. Barr's not ready to come back, so we're going to start with Tohill for this one. McVeigh and Jude are a little tired, but I'd rather have them tired and playing in this match than the next match. Because I think the next match is Linfield or Larne, so there's a good chance we'd lose anyway, so we might as well swap defenders out for that one. Oh, I forgot about this. We'll do this anyway, we'll just watch, we'll just be spectators. So I complained about a disallowed goal, I think, in the last match. And to be honest, I complained about it accidentally because I misclicked. My mouse isn't the greatest. You should have noticed through all the videos I've done. So I got touchline ban. I wanted to do this video, so we'll just have it as a recording. I mean, it's not going to make much difference. It's just, I'm not going to have any control over it. So it'll be an interesting one. Jim McAtee scoring within 2 minutes. Crusaders. And I can do nothing about it. I mean, that was just a missed tackle and then a good shot, really, wasn't it? There's limited things you could do about that anyway. Go on, Quigg. Almost there. Yeah, Eddie Gregg, our striker, has been... he had a very slow start, and now he's picked up a few, so he's getting close to 10 goals now. O'Connor on about 14, 15. Greg goes in. Oh, it was a nice little one. Almost there. I've just noticed something. They've swapped the strikers around. My assistant manager, even though I've given them the team sheet and told them where everyone should play, has. Why is Dallas on? So O'Connor's now the pressing forward. Greg is now the target man. Dallas is on and he's injured. McGee, well picked up, lays it off. Oh, Greg. What's happened here? McGinn's on. Have I missed something here? I'm sure I saw McVeigh and Key playing. Have they? I think what's happened here is, because I got a touchline ban, they've repicked the team, even though I said what the team should be. That's not how this would work. I'm banned from the touchline, not from being the manager. Go on, Jim. I know really shouldn't be supporting them, but I might sack my assistant manager. Is that childish of me? I think it's a little childish. But this isn't the team I picked. It's definitely not the team I picked. Quig, yeah. Well, this is what you get. You don't have the magnificent Ronnie Hot Dogs in charge. 2-0 down in the first half. I mean, imagine we probably would have lost even with me managing it, but at least we would have lost on our terms. Yeah, McGinn was on the bench. Go on, Quig. Connor in for Greg. Again, that's the wrong way around. O'Connor's the tall, strong target man. Greg is the nippy pressing forward. They've swapped around. It should have been Greg putting that in and target man like O'Connor on the end of it. Although Greg's off now. You know, it's Carl Brown, the target man. Good little move there. That's alright. Ooh, Brown almost got it. That should have been a goal. There should have been a goal there. It's more frustrating than I realised just observing this. I know what it's like watching an actual team, but I think it's like knowing I could do something. Again, I'm banned from the touchline. Surely I could just ring him up and be like, this is what you should do. Oh, McGee, is he through? McGee picked up places shots in the off-season, which we told him to do last season, because he was getting into a lot of one-on-ones, but then screwing it wide. Just left Dallas on, injured all the way. O'Connor's come off for Cockcroft. Cockcroft can play as a striker, but it's the post. McGee picks up the rebound. And Cockcroft is good at free kicks. But he's not a striker. I made him learn how to do it, but he's not a good one. Penalty against Cockcroft. Maybe I need to take it all back. Gosh, imagine if we won this now. We're not gonna. We do want us to get something from it, because obviously we've got to think about trying to qualify, but do you feel a little bit vindicated that I'm having an effect as a manager? If we could compare it to what the assistant manager's been doing. Sit quick. Tell the referee what you think. And it goes. Oh, McAtee wants his hat trick. Nah, I think that's it, isn't it? We had the opportunity to get back into it. I think if I'd been in charge, we would have won that. There, so Ballymena did win their game in hand, but Cliftonville didn't. I say they did win their game in hand. They've still got game in hand on us, but their current match they had to play, so that gives us still a bit of breathing room. Rather, Cliftonville or Ballymena are now breathing down an X, and Glenavon got a game in hand, and they've gone up to 7 points ahead of us, which is interesting. We're still holding on in there. Yeah, this is who we had. This is what we selected. We had Key, McVeigh, Devlin was in there as well. And Greg was there, so that was our assistant manager. Let's look at this staff-wise. This Dara Penn. Look at this. He does nothing. I really do need to try and sort out my staffing, but for seasons it's been so difficult to get anyone good in. I think the reason I got him is because he's a model citizen. Really thin on the ground. Get one more coach in. Schedule-wise, it was reasonable January, a busy January. Got slightly quieter Februaries and March to do, but I'll do these kind of off camera. And then we'll see where we are when the league splits. We'll see what we can do with that. Thanks very much, as always, for watching.